When I tried playing for the other team recently, I found a lot of iPhone features that I loved, but I ultimately decided to go back to Android, enraging 87% of US teenagers in the process. Oh, they said, of course you have problems with the iPhone. It's the switching that's the issue, not the phone. And if you asked an iPhone user to switch to Android, they'd have even more issues. But would they? I honestly don't know. I mean, I feel like the feature set of both platforms is close enough these days that the process of migrating between them is probably more painful than daily driving your non-preferred device. But the thing is, it's my job to constantly swap out my tech and to get comfortable. So what I need then is some fresh meat. I'm talking people who have never dailied an Android device. Some of the Apple faithful, if you will. And guess what? I found some, and I made them an offer that they couldn't refuse. I offer your choice of any flagship Android phone. I receive your iPhone for 1 whole month, just like what I did. Also, don't tell them this, but there will be a little bonus offer if they make it through the whole month. What phone will they pick? And will they stick to Android after their trial marriage? Or will they go home with their original partner? I know who I'm going home with. Our sponsor. Oh, it's dbrand. dbrand is forcing me to tell you about the zero yellowing clear case, the Ghost 2.0. It is guaranteed to never turn yellow, and they boast best-in-class scratch resistance as well. Pick one up at IamVeryShort.com. Let's meet our 3 contestants.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I am the senior designer on the fashion team at Creator Warehouse, and I'm currently using the iPhone 16 Pro.
Hi, I'm Tynan. I work at Creator Warehouse as a senior mechanical engineer and our shop supervisor. And I'm running an iPhone 14 Pro.
Hi, my name's Andy. I'm the production supervisor on the shooter side. So I use, not this one, iPhone 16 Pro.
Surprisingly, these were not the only iPhone monogamists in our office, but we chose these 3 for 2 reasons. One is that all of them are using a relatively modern iPhone. I mean, it wouldn't be fair for someone to come from a 7-year-old iPhone and compare that to a modern Android, would it? And 2, we wanted some variety in the types of people that we chose. So we've got the one who lives and breathes the Apple ecosystem, the one who's kind of indifferent but just keeps buying what they're used to, which is perfectly valid. And finally, the one who was already kind of interested in switching, but just can't find the time, what with his dedication to finally bringing our amazing LTT cables to life. Coming soon, lttstore.com. Let them into the store! We laid out the following phones in our store and have hired a minimum wage employee to read the product cards to our iPhone users. The goal here was to recreate the retail experience and allow them to ask questions about the devices before purchasing one. Let's see what they pick. Oh, and hey, since dbrand is paying us anyway, I'm gonna make sure that they send over some of our collab glow circuit skins to stick onto the contestants' phones.
How much do you know about any Android phones at all?
Less than 0.
I know a bit, but not a ton. I debated switching to an ROG a while ago after I got one at the Christmas party, and then decided not to.
They're an operating system similar to iOS. They've been used on phones.
The most common phones people think of when they think of Android are Google and Samsung. So we're actually gonna start there, and then we'll work into some more niche ones, but I think they each have a feature that you're gonna enjoy. Currently, Google is on Pixel 9 of their flagship Pro phones. This is the XL, so it's actually a little bit bigger.
See, my hands aren't actually, like, they're not small hands for a woman, but it really annoys me the way I can't get past. I can just about get past the whole screen on this one.
Oh, these are definitely large. One gripe I've actually had with phones in general are heading, but also iPhones, is they're just getting physically large, and trying to reach at the top corner is really awkward.
I like it because it looks like iPhone. It looks like exactly like an iPhone. Got the rounded corner and, you know, slightly better like hole punch and stuff. But I overall like the look.
So this will be your kind of Android interface. This is gonna be as like stock as people would call Android.
Okay.
A lot of other phones do come with some skins or some variations and animations.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to compare this as the baseline. It's gonna be different than an iPhone, different what you're used to. There's gonna be some things that are similar in terms of your just quick access notifications, if you wanna go to your apps or whatever. But you can obviously customize. That's definitely one of the features why people love Androids, is they can change what they want. They're not necessarily locked down to iPhone way.
I mean, so far out of these two, I think I'd lean more towards this.
Really?
Yeah, the extra screen size is interesting.
Cool. Do you know what you do with it?
No.
I actually was thinking like, maybe at someday I can switch to Android, but like, I tried it at the store, but like, what about my other, iOS feature?
What iOS features are you mainly talking about? Like, what do you need in an iPhone?
Well, everything. I have AirPlay,
of course,
my HomePod and stuff.
Sure.
Apple Wallets.
Yep, that's also Apple exclusive. Okay. iPhone is definitely known for videos and being captured and photos and everything.
Yeah.
Google has like always been known as the photo guys for their phones. They have a lot of AI tools if you're interested in that to help clean up your photos and make it pretty. Why don't you take a look?
Yeah, like for the camera, it's just like, it looks nice. One thing I kind of don't like about the current iPhone is the photo you take from iPhone is like very processed.
I see. Okay.
Good thing they have like raw, but like still like the Pixel a lot of time looks more natural, like more
I
like
see.
camera-like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The camera in your left here, the Pixel Pro, is going to be a better camera.
Okay.
It has a little bit more megapixel, a little bit other updated settings. The biggest reason for that is the thickness. Because this phone is essentially half as thick, right?
Yeah.
You can't put the same quality camera in it. Is it enough of a deal breaker?
No.
Okay, well there you go. Take a picture of Andrew if you want.
Okay.
It's a big screen though, right? You can zoom all the way in, see all the details.
Yeah, sorry, God, whoops.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to say anything.
I was looking at the fabric, I was looking at the resolution. I was looking at the resolution and not even realizing what I was looking at. Sorry, Andrew.
I like both of them.
Okay.
I like both of them. Yeah, but like if I have to pick one, I'll pick this one for
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's move these ones to the side. Let's move on to Samsung. So these are probably the other most common phone people think of when they think of Android. We've got our S24, which is kind of your base model flagship, which I know sounds kind of funny. So it's still top of the line specs. You're still gonna get an incredible camera, incredible amount of storage, great battery.
Oh, that's important.
Yep, we have 128 gigs on this phone, 256 on this phone, as well as more RAM on this one. And then the fun Samsung one, the Z Flip 6.
See, that's a nice size.
All right, well, there you go.
The size is good. I came from like a 13 mini and then upgrade to my like 16 Pro.
Oh, wow, that's a very big difference.
Yeah, like if they have a 16 mini, I'll go for the mini. Cause like I want like, one-handed phones.
Yieldy reference sizing.
Yes.
So that's pretty similar.
That's very similar.
In terms of overall size and just general form factor. I think this is even thicker and definitely heavier.
The rounded corners as well kind of give it that iPhone-y feel, right? This is the Ultra. This is like...
Oh, no.
I didn't even get into anything. This is like the flagship of flagship Samsungs.
I feel like business bro with this one though.
This is a chonker.
It's chonker with very sharp corners. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a problem. Although with a case,
First thing I want to pick it up, I don't like it because like it digs in my palm.
Really? Oh, because the corners.
The corner digs in my palm.
That's so interesting. I think you are the third person out of all three people to immediately mention that the corners on this are like, you're scared you're gonna get them caught on something, or they're so obvious.
It's not really comfortable to hold.
Does the pen add to it? Because it has an S Pen.
Like, why do I need a pen? I'm like using my phone.
I am asking, trying to bring you the best customer service.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, if you're using this, the pen's cool.
Using some of the Samsung apps, you can actually write out what you want and it'll translate it to like digital text as if you typed it.
Okay.
So if you're someone who prefers to do kind of like more physical writing, I think that could be a selling feature.
Okay, I do feel a bit douchey with this. So.
This one does have the highest megapixel count for the wide lens, and I would love to see your opinion compared to the Google Pixel.
Well, the roll-off is not as nice.
The roll-off, how can you define that? Like, what do you, for people at home?
You know, Pixels sort of like have like the little bit like filmy look. So like the roll-off like is smoother.
Okay.
But like for this, you can just tell like the camera is trying to process like the edge of like the highlights and stuff. Similar.
Okay.
But I still prefer like the Pixel.
Yeah.
We can try to take a very similar picture of Andrew.
I'll take a higher up picture of Andrew this time. Look. Just a wee bit more flattering.
There you
Here
go.
we go. Okay, so that's what I was expecting. I was a little bit horrified with the last one.
Okay.
Because the thing is that, yeah, it wasn't a macro or anything, but like I take so many photographs of like little details like this, and I need a really good camera for that.
It's Andrew.
I mean, that looks meh, but also I'm not doing
also
it
10X.
any favors at all.
We got one more Samsung here for you. This is the Flip. So you actually do have a screen on the outside. This is where you can like quick access notifications. Someone texts you, you can see who it is, swipe it, whatever. But obviously, it is still a phone.
You know what I like about this? Is the fact that all I can see when I do that is the time and the date, and I don't have the temptation to like get distracted.
Yep.
Which I do.
Part of me misses the old days with the OG flip phones.
That's what this is emulating.
Yeah, just bigger and more smartphony.
But if you want to take some photos or test or whatever,
Yeah, not bad.
again, for most people, probably gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you immediately are like against it, for it? What's your feelings?
Okay, flip phone is cool.
Cool.
Especially like Final Fantasy VII, you know, the anime. Have you ever seen that? When the main character, you know, dun, 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 and then like do a flip phone, that's freaking cool.
First impressions. You liked the size of this one. You kind of like some of the features of this one, but then the folding is you called cute. Which one is kind of your top one out of these three?
I still think, like, even though this has got kind of cool features, I'm not going to use the
pen or
penny
anything?
thing.
Cool.
And I don't like the corners. This is just like for the wows.
Yes.
You know, and for stupid girl pockets. For the sake of trying things out, I'm very intrigued by this.
Cool. I'm actually so happy that
Yeah.
that is intriguing instead of
Yeah.
just like defaulting to similar. What are the standout ones for you?
These two.
You like those two?
This
Okay.
one seems meh.
boring?
If I'm like exploring having different features, I should explore having different features.
Cool. That's
Or at
a
least I feel like I should explore having different features.
great way to look at it.
Another slightly more different phone.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily like the form factor of this one.
Zero
You
for
think this
that
one's
one.
too big,
This one too big and cornery, and I like this one.
so you would just go with the S24.
Yeah.
We're getting into the ones that I'm calling the iPhony. Whether it's by physical design or the actual operating system, they try to make it as ease of use for iPhone users, iOS users, including having an AirDrop feature. If whoever you're AirDropping to downloads an app, you can AirDrop to them. I know, it's a little inconvenient.
Is that only on the phone, or can I do it to my computer?
For me, AirDrop, you don't have to install anything.
Yeah.
It just works. Like, you know, I hate to say that, but like, it just works.
That has been the biggest complaint by far, I think, when we've asked anyone who's willing to switch to an Android.
Yeah.
They're like, what about AirDrop? Okay, I still want you to check them out.
Yeah.
I still want to see what you think of them.
Yeah.
So let's start with our Oppo X8 here. Linus did a short circuit on this one, and he was genuinely very shocked with how much this just felt like an iPhone.
Yeah, like I can see why he said that. For even with this, like with the Bluetooth and everything.
Yeah. This one's really going to come down to the interface and just kind of how they feel for you, right? Because if you like iPhone, you might want to go towards these ones. But if you wanted to adventure away from iPhone, these might not be the choice you want to do.
Yeah, these definitely feel very, very similar in pretty much every way.
They're very similar operating systems. This one's a slight branch off of our Color OS. They both have Dynamic Island as well, which is very similar to iPhone, which is like the whole camera bump, and it'll show you your charge times or your camera record. I like the rounded corners.
Around the corner, yeah.
Both of them running incredible cameras. Actually, you can see they're basically the exact same. I believe they're both by Hasselblad.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that looks familiar.
Yes.
Because that's like the same.
They caught my eye with the Hasselblad like logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that significant?
First, they're well known.
Okay.
And especially like if you're like a camera nerd type of thing, like me. When I see Hasselblad, I know like the color is not gonna be like suck.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look then. Let's take a photo.
All right. Yeah, it's about the same as Samsung.
As Samsung. So
Yeah.
you would still then prefer the Pixels camera.
I think Pixel camera might still be better.
Okay.
That's an interesting design choice. Why is photo button red?
You would expect that to be video.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's red, and then that's
red, like,
less
oh.
red.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm using my own phone. I feel like if I'm going to go ahead and use an Android, I might as well use something that's like actually feels like an Android, because
okay.
it's gonna feel, I feel like it's gonna just feel like my phone without some of the features that I want.
Got it. And that could lead to like frustration.
And I think that would make me frustrated.
We have 3 more phones to go through,
All right.
and then we'll narrow down our top 3.
Cool.
These are the kind of the curveballs we're throwing into the mix, because
Okay.
each one kind of is special in their own way. This is the Asus ROG Phone 8. It's a gaming phone. I don't know how much you...
Geez, this thing is massive.
It's a chonker. If you pick this phone, it does come with all the accessories. And there is a attachment cooler if you would like to have it on the back. It honestly compromises a lot of features that I think you'd
I
like.
can't even turn the thing on, so never mind.
Oh, double USB-C, which
That's
makes
a
sense
big
for
feature. Yeah, a lot
if
of
you're
people
trying
like
to do something like that. Yeah.
because it's a gaming
Yeah,
phone, right?
It's a gaming phone. You wanna, game when you're charging and stuff.
Exactly.
Don't do that. It's gonna hurt your battery.
All right, I'm gonna create what? Wow, that's a UI, all right.
You're a gamer.
So this is like they got their the icon got their own shape.
They fully embraced that they're like a
fully
gaming
embrace
phone.
That's ROG. It
Yeah.
looks like ROG, and I in general like ROG stuff.
You should open up the camera though.
I mean, the icon for it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. I mean, it seems fine. I think everything these days is gonna have a fine camera, pretty much no matter what you're doing, I would assume.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I think it's going to be enough for you to get by, but I would not rely on, like, if you had to send a client a nice photo,
Yeah.
I would not use this phone personally.
Yeah.
The uniformity is not as nice as iPhone.
The next phone is the Nothing Phone 2A. I want you to pick it up and use it and tell me if something is different about it.
Do I have to put everything on this?
Yes, it is very, okay. I mean, the reason why is it is a $400 phone. It is dirt cheap. It is a different phone. It is a very different phone.
Yeah. It also has a lot of like iPhone fit and feel to it too, other than, until you turn it on,
Yeah.
then not so much.
If you decide to commit to it, we're gonna give you the full nothing treatment. If you want to embrace the Android ecosystem, you can have the Buds and an Android watch. These are all from nothing, and these all still come out less than any one of these phones.
Honestly, this does not feel like a $400 phone.
Really?
To me, just design wise,
Would you say it feels like more?
it feels more premium than like a $400 phone.
Okay, cool.
I think good job, nothing.
Still has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, right?
That's my gripe about iPhone.
Too small of batteries?
Too small of battery. We enlarged the battery size this year, and it's gonna be the greatest iPhone ever made. Of course, if you're bringing a new iPhone, it's supposed to be the best one.
Do you like the OS interface? Because it is very different.
I like it, but I'm worried that in a couple of days I'd be pretty over it.
It has lights on the back.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't remember how to turn them on.
I think ringtone. See, I'm trying to pull down and then search. That's my iPhone muscle memory. See, that's gonna be my biggest trouble of finding where all the things are. Wow.
That's actually a good point you bring that up. We're offering a 1 week and a 2 week check-in warranty. So after 1 week, you can come to me with all of your issues that you're having.
Okay.
I will do my best to solve them.
Okay.
And then after 2 weeks, one more time, I'll do my best to solve them. But then for the last 2 weeks, you're gonna be on your own. This is just to try to recreate you buying a new phone. My contacts didn't sync. What happened? I'm gonna help you with that to make your transition as smooth as
You're
possible.
the genius bar.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
That's cool. Well, it's definitely cool.
It's a talking feature,
It's a cool feature, but you're, I don't know, probably most of the time my phone stays in my pocket, so I can't see it. You know what this could be useful? If you're taking photo of your kid.
Oh, you just play something funny because they'll probably look at it?
Yeah, they'll probably look at it, and it's right by the lens.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't even think about that. We should take a look at the camera.
Wow.
That's a great sound.
That was a noise.
Yeah, the camera looks fine for $400.
Where would you rank it amongst the other ones? Would you say it's on par with the Asus ROG phone? Would you say it's the worst one we've looked at?
I think right now, just looking at this, it might be the worst one.
I've been intrigued by Nothing phones in the past. Not enough to really explore it seriously, but I'm just curious. I kind of like the general idea.
This is the Sony Xperia. The reason why this one's a little bit different is you're gonna notice it's very skinny.
It is skinny.
It actually goes for the aspect ratio similar to movies. I don't want to call it a photographer phone because you should just buy a camera if you're going to get into professional photography. But the camera in this has been compared to be some of the greatest cameras. A lot of people really like it. I know Andy is very excited to pick out this phone personally.
I actually went to Yodobashi Camera when I was in Japan, and I saw the newer version, the 1.6. I actually prefer the 5. I think this is 21:9.
Yep.
The newer one is like 18:9 or something like that, so it's like wider. The reason why I like this more is like it's very one-handable. For a larger phone, I just can't like one-handed type.
You should take the camera on this one because it's actually got a lot of optical zoom, not digital zoom. So
okay,
if zooming in or whatever is important to you, and you have a camera shutter button. So if you wanted to grab focus and then like actually take the photo.
Oh, wow.
Again, if that's something you want to do.
Super cool feature. I would probably never use it.
iPhone shutter button sucks.
Really?
This is the shutter button of iPhone. This is the shutter button of the Sony one. If I'm like taking a photo,
Oh, it's actually not in the right spot.
it's not in the right spot. It's a very stiff button.
Got it.
They call it not a button, but it's a button. If you're like pressing it down, often because the stiffness, I just shake the camera. I think the problem is this is like the overall clicky feeling is really similar to the power button
On the iPhone.
on the iPhone.
Got it.
For the Sony one,
It feels
it
distinct.
feels like a shutter button to me.
We're gonna move everything to the side. We're gonna bring all our phones back out and we're gonna slowly narrow it down to your top 3.
Sure.
I feel like none of the like kind of wild cardy special ones were really
Cool.
my thing.
We'll remove them from our list then.
I do like this one.
Cool.
I didn't think I would, but I'm just, you know, it's novelty.
It's kind of a showpiece.
It's kind of a showpiece.
And like you said, when you want to kind of go completely away from an iOS experience, this is probably going to be one of your more kind of custom ones that is not going to feel like iOS because you have your screen on the outside.
I love how small and how compact it is.
Right? So I think this is safe to say it's in your top 3.
I think it is,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll move it right to the side here then. Let's start with eliminating some. What are some that you just don't want?
Let's just take those 2 away if we're done.
All
now.
right, they are out.
And those 2.
Oh, okay.
Let's just do some quick
That was
decisions.
quick. No, that's good.
Okay. Sorry, RG. I don't game. That's gonna go. Nothing.
Means nothing to you?
It means something to me.
Okay. Do you think if you were buying a phone that would change your opinion? Like, do you think nothing could be in this list?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Samsung. I don't really need a too small of a tablet, too big of a phone. This.
Wow, already. Okay. Flip phone gone.
I like flip phone, just not that form factor.
I mean, I think given what I'm trying to do with the actual Switch, I'm also not inclined on either of these 2.
Okay.
It's the gimmicks or the gimmick because of other things.
Okay, we're down to our last 6 here. Interesting choices so far. It's so fun to see this compared to everyone else.
Already?
Yes, I would love to know which one is definitely in your top 3. The Sony phone. Should have seen that one coming. All right, let's eliminate the rest except for 2 more. So that way we have our top 3.
That's really tough.
No, I wouldn't use it.
Okay,
I like the idea of it. I'm just not into the execution of it.
totally fine. We'll move this one to the side then.
So this one I was really interested in, but then whenever we took the photo, it was super low quality, and that's a deal breaker for me, even though I think it's a really cool phone, and no, it's a deal breaker.
Okay, then how about we look at it on this phone, because this phone has a better camera.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite good. These 2 feel very similar. This one's just smaller.
The Pixel XL is definitely, a little bit bigger.
People keep telling me that I should get a Pixel. Let's put that into the
Top 3?
top
Cool.
3.
I think if I'm gonna get rid of one more, it'd probably be that one.
Wow, okay. The Ultra Boy is gone. So we're down to our Google Flip, our Nothing phone, and then our Z Flip here.
Can I say another phone that I want to keep?
Sure, which one do you want?
This?
The Fold.
The Fold.
Interesting.
Because I always wanted to try Fold.
Okay.
And I wish iPhone has a Fold version.
These were the 2 that are definitely, this was the most iPhone-y one,
Yeah.
and then this was the one you've picked up and said felt the most
This
iPhone-like.
one feels like it in a physical sense. So
Okay.
let's pick that one and put these guys
Cool.
away.
We have our top 3. I need one more, Andy. One more as your final for your top 3.
Sorry, I'm OnePlus and Oppo.
Oh, they're gone. The iPhonies.
Yeah, I'm like switching to Android. I want Android. Out of like these 4, this one makes the most sense. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm like purchasing it.
You're gonna do camera comparison. Okay.
Hi Andrew. Hi Andrew. Yeah.
Wow, okay, there you go. It was down to the camera is what it was. So our top 3, you have the Pixel 9 XL, and then obviously the Pixel Fold, and then the Sony phone. I now need you to organize them from favorite to least favorite. So you're gonna move the number 1 over here, number 2, and then your number 3.
I think I'm gonna do this.
So this one would be your first pick? If somehow this gets taken, this would be your second pick, and so forth.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're locking it in?
Yes, let's lock it in.
It's a tough decision, but which one's your favorite, or which one's your least favorite, if that helps make it easier?
Feeling that one's gonna end up being there.
At 3,
Yeah.
right? It's really gonna
The real
come down
question
to-
between these two is, do I want a gigantic screen or do I want a small form factor phone? I don't think I need a small form factor phone.
See, knowing you, I feel like you could benefit more from the
more
fold
screen space.
because you're going to be able to, whether it's opening up some sort of drawing to show a client on a show floor, whether it's you get something emailed to you that you're like, I want to look at really quick in detail. The screen resolution is great, 120 hertz still. It's an 8-inch screen, it's massive. I think that would be the
Tablet in your
best.
pocket, essentially, which is pretty sick. I think if I was gonna have to pick, it would probably be in this order.
Cool, so fold, the flip, and then the nothing phone. You're locking that in?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I will.
I want you to organize it by 1, 2, and 3, because if someone else had picked some of these phones,
Which they have probably.
possibly, but let's just say someone had put this as their number 1.
Yeah.
So you put it as your number 1 and like this, you would get the Sony because they've already picked it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you organize it how you want, and then we will find out once everyone's gone which your phone is.
I think I actually
This exact order?
made it for me.
You're locking it in?
Locking in.
Cool. I'll see you in a bit.
I predict that I'm gonna have difficulty with losing the seamlessness between all of my Apple products because at the moment, that's something I use a lot.
I predict that I'm gonna swap over pretty quick. I've been kind of meaning to try to swap for a while, and the main thing was just doing the initial transition. After that, I think it's gonna be pretty easy.
I predict that I'm probably gonna switch back because you know, the amount of like Apple devices that I have at home, I really enjoy just, you know, that I can send my music to anywhere in my home, that kind of like feeling. I'm pretty sure Android can do that, but I'm just, you know, so used to the ecosystem at this point. Like it's been like 16, 17 years.
When the 30 days is up, I will present them with a second trade offer. You receive the Android you picked, I receive your iPhone.
Forever.
Forever, just like dbrand's clear case. It will stay clear forever and never turn yellow. In fact, they are so confident in that they offer a lifetime free replacement if it ever does. And like we mentioned earlier, it's using a proprietary anti-scratch coating that took them over a year to research and develop. So you can be sure that it will hold up over time, bouncing around in your pockets with your keys or even when you toss it on the counter. And in spite of it being only 1.8 millimeters thick, it still offers up to 12 feet of drop protection. Get yours now at IamVeryShort.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe go check out the video of my experience switching to the iPhone 16 Plus. I did find a lot of positive things to say, but also had my fair share of issues. Dude, iOS 18 is still freaking buggy.